Hello, my name is Miranda Sappington, and my topic for this analysis paper assignment is television production and distribution as it relates to styling and costume design. I love film, I love anything that inspires me to make fashion, and film is a big part of that. Most recently, I made a dress based on the Summer I Turned Pretty character Belly. And it was just a very light, kind of airy dress, but it was also kind of telling of her circumstances. Like she was kind of carefree about the way she dressed, but it also had a lot to do with summer, so it was a very summery dress. But she did care about her fashion enough that it really went with who she was. So, why does it matter? Fashion undeniably sends a message every single time. If you think about our First Lady, Melania Trump, and the difference between her two dresses during both inaugurations, they are very different. And there is a lot to be said about both of them. The first one, the blue one, was very hopeful. It was very much ushering in a new era, whereas the last one was very military, very 20s, very um, she takes seriously that we are entering a very new era that the president and her are taking very seriously. And she is not backing down from supporting her husband. So, after that soapbox, we all have this built in ability to process information. And the easier it is to interpret a film, or the easier it is to interpret an outfit in a film or a costume, the more a film makes sense. See, film educates society, and society educates film. They really kind of feed off of each other. And fashion can promote, a political idea, different ideas that society has, and push them through the film. So fashion communicates. Fashion really is a language. It's a big tool that informs the audience of different circumstances like economic and social status. What are the characters' values? Everything like that. So I wanted to bring up a little visual. Think of a person in a film, they're just wearing this big gray box that really doesn't say anything about them. But say they have like a gray shirt and a gray pants on. That's still going to say something about their character that we can perceive. What is the fit? What is the fiber content? Is it cotton? Is it polyester? Are they very conscious of the environment? Do they like comfort? Are they wearing jeans? Are they wearing slacks? Are they coming from work? Do they work in an office setting? Are they in a more casual, laid back state? And then, just lastly, um, fashion provides a lot of excitement, wonder, and practicality of film that really is meant to move a story forward and focus your attention on the plot. So, fashion has influence on movies, and then movies have influence on fashion. So, to an extent, we do have the capacity to redefine what casual is in America. And the reason I bring that up in particular is because I am interested in changing what casual is in America. I don't like the whole athleisure, you wear pajama pants out when you go to the grocery store. I think we should get back to a more, just respectful way to put yourself forward, that just putting your best foot forward when you go see people, because it shows that you respect them, and it shows that you respect yourself, and kind of what you expect other how you expect other people to treat you. So there was a study done for Bollywood, and people in India want to dress like characters they admire in film. It's not necessarily that they like what those characters are wearing, they just think that that's the easiest way to convey to themselves and to other people that they are like that character. So who I relate to and how that has impacted my own dress is, for example, like Little Women. So I relate most to Meg and Amy, in terms of just like my own family dynamic and just how kind of my personality works and who I am. But I relate to them both. And I think I found that, after I watched that movie or after I watched Pride and Prejudice, those kind of characters and their philosophies kind of impact how I dress because they both dress, nicely because they love to be feminine, they love to be beautiful, they really love to lean into that. And I think the reason I dress like them in particular is because I do relate to them most. And I like how they dress because I relate to them most. Because I'm not going to relate to Joe. I really don't relate to Joe. Hardly at all. Maybe in a couple of aspects, but hardly at all. So I really am not going to dress like her. I don't really love how she dresses because she's conveyed to be like kind of homely and everything. And I like to be really put together. So, costume choices. In a particular film called Babylon, there was this whole red dress development. And this red dress, it was almost like a character in and of itself. This movie was released back in 2023 or 2022, I believe. Anyway, I have not seen it, but I read this article. And basically, the question I was trying to answer was what degree do all the different roles in film have like a say in what a costume and kind of like what costume is worn. Like how much say does the director have? How much say does the costume designer have? How much say does the actor or actress have? So in this movie Babylon, I thought it was really interesting because the director did not want a flapper dress because 20s are really popular right now. We're in the 20s. 1920s are really popular in fashion, in movies, in all the things. And this director did not want it to be the same as a bunch of other movies. He wanted it to stand out, right? So he said no flapper dresses. Costume designer said, okay. She got a vision for this red dress. And then the actress had conditions like she did not want to show too much of her body. So the costume designer had to work with, what kind of fabrics are really going to move well with her that makes sense with the structure of the dress without exposing her, basically. With along with achieving the design that the costume designer wanted to achieve, as well as achieving what the director wanted to convey as well. So, what does the color red represent? Just as kind of a side note, all these characteristics on the right, fire, blood, sacrifice, all these things. And I think people, especially, in America, I would say, um, definitely associate these things with red. So you can kind of get that from her character. And again, I haven't seen the movie, but I can just see from that dress kind of what she's trying to say on a basic level, like who she is, where she's trying to go, what she will give up to get where she's going, how driven she is. And then, just as another side note, the color red has actually been so big in the past few years on the runway, in the stores, in my own closet. It has really impacted me. Um, and it's been right around the time that this movie came out, which is so interesting. So, styling in Hollywood, a little bit of a shift, but stylists, a little bit different than costume designers. They often head to like vintage shows, antique stores, thrift stores. I don't know why this was so groundbreaking for me. I just didn't really think about it. But these really are sustainable options for television. And I love that they do this because sustainability is important. It's not just an agenda, it is important because there is a lot of um, fabric pollution going on around the world tied to, sweatshops and really unethical practices of clothing production. But I just wanted to bring up a little bit of a metaphor that's kind of ironic for Hollywood. Hollywood is taking these clothes that were not being used and they made them new again. And I think that's just kind of a cool, basic metaphor of how God brings um, good out of dark industries. He makes us new in Christ um, when it wasn't looking good for us. It really wasn't. And that is really cool. I think there's some irony there, and I just love God for him, working through those dark industries in even ways such as sustainability and fashion. So the biblical application, um, I think film is so neat because it works with your psychology, and you can just see through that created order is clear. God made us a certain way, and human beings are made to be known. Like, we are predictable when it comes down to it. And I love what Ecclesiastes 1:9 says: that which has been is what will be. That which is done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. This verse is a comfort. It's not saying creativity is not real. God is the one who gives us creativity, and we can be creative because of him. So I think understanding ourselves in light of who the Lord is even better. We are predictable, we are knowable. That makes us have limits. And that's why we need him. Big reason, part of it. And um and also we do wish to be like others. We wish to not be like ourselves. So I think striving to be worthy of being models, um good role models for others, um in just walking in the spirit, as Galatians 5:16 says. So thank you for watching this presentation, and I really enjoyed it.